Let's get started. We'll start off with the transfer rule being instituted in the NCAA. They've added a new rule that will punish programs that sign a transfer student athlete, add a transfer student athlete to a roster, or allow a transfer student athlete to participate in athletically related activities before the student athlete is entered into the NCAA transfer portal. That could include a suspension of a head coach, 50% of a season, and fine of 20% in a budget. So basically, this new transfer portal rules are being instituted. You're going to get punished if you break them. We'll see if anybody does this year. Meanwhile, Bill Self is returning to Kansas next season. College basketball, one of the greatest coaches ever, is back again. Says he's focused and committed to Kansas competing for a national championship. He said that his coaching future with his family would be discussed, but he is back yet again. 855 wins over 33 years at Oral Roberts, Tulsa, Illinois, and Kansas. So he will be back again. Very let's say peculiar story percolating out of the National Football League. Some folks thought that this was an April Fool's joke yesterday, but indeed not the case. Puka Nacua, the star wide receiver for the Rams, has entered into rehab, says his attorney Levi McCathern told the California Post. They're saying that Nacua is going under a substantial time of rehab and will be back for the regular season, maybe even back for the OTAs. But there really aren't a lot of details as to why, what, and how. So we'll keep it private and keep it out. But Puka Nacua, certainly one of the great players in the NFL, having to go through some issues right now. Okay, issues. That's the case for the Orlando Magic all season long. What is going on with them? They lost to the Magic last night. That's fine. But they lost 130 to 101. Hawks were on the road and blew them out. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 32 points as the Magic are just simply falling apart. We'll hear from Quinn Snyder on the Hawks as he picked up a win for his team, and it does appear that Jamal Mosley is searching for answers on his Magic.
The first time out, we talked about just more, and got to do more in every area of the game, and our guys responded, and they did. They raised their level, and when we settled in defensively and were able to get stops, I think we did a pretty good job converting, and that's the challenge for us is just to stay in character.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, I have to go back and look at the film in this situation. It looked like missed shots at the rim. They were able to get out and get a bunch of easy baskets then. Long shots on our misses, they were able to get out and get some easy baskets. And our defense broke down one too many times where they're slipping out of screens. Our communication had to turn up a little bit, and it wasn't there. You got to give Atlanta a ton of credit. They have our number in this moment, and they kicked our ass, and that's what it is right now.
Wow, Jamal Mosley not happy about that. Eric Spoelstra wasn't happy about his team yesterday either. Best offensive game, you could say, for the Celtics, and worst defensive game for the Miami Heat. Check out this score, 147 to 129. The Celtics cover and put almost 150 points on the Miami Heat. Jaylen Brown had 43. Jayson Tatum had his first triple-double of the season. Tatum talked about Jaylen Brown's 43-point output, and Eric Spoelstra says that the team appears to be headed toward the play-in game.
I thought it was special. Obviously somebody that's always been capable, but it was just an opportunity where more was required from everybody, but obviously especially him. I think a lot of times the NBA is about opportunity, and guys really make the most out of the special ones, and that's exactly what he's been able to do this year.
This is going to sound crazy, but this is different than the other games that we're talking about. Our guys, were locked in and competing. There was an exceptional level of shot making on their part.
All right. Well, giving credit to the Celtics, that's one way to look at it. Spurs get a lot of credit. They beat the Warriors 127 to 113. The Warriors do barely cover this big line. Wemby, my gosh, 41 points, 18 rebounds in the game. Mitch Johnson just thrilled with how well Wemby is playing down the stretch toward the playoffs.
You guys have spent this season figuring out how to use Victor in all the unique ways that you've used him. What do you think has been the key of that process over the course of the year of understanding how to utilize a talent that's so unique?
I think it's been a commitment to a brand of basketball and identity that we talked about in October, and we knew there'd be some growing pains, and we knew that there would be some adjustments that would need to be made as we learn more about our team and the players on our team and to play to our strengths. And I think it's also been an open-mindedness to balance that and understand, as things grow, things can change or be adjusted for the better. And so I think the balance of that, of trying to have a base that is consistent throughout time and circumstances and availability and all the other things that we can't control, but then also keeping a growth mindset and continuing to evolve.
Spurs will be one of those teams to watch in the Western Conference playoffs. Maybe the Nuggets will as well. Jamal Murray had 10 3-pointers in their win over the Utah Jazz, 130-117. Murray had 37. And the Washington Wizards, have they punted their season? I gave up 153 points last night to the Philadelphia 76ers. Even Paul George had 39 points. Poor Wizards, looking toward next year. All right, in Major League Baseball, the future is now. The Pittsburgh Pirates make the announcement official. They are calling up young shortstop Konnor Griffin. He'll make his Major League debut tomorrow. They've been talking about a contract extension. No word on whether or not that will get done before tomorrow, but Griffin is set to make his Major League debut as the Pirates open up at PNC Park. Meanwhile, best record in baseball, Miami Marlins. Did you have that one at the beginning of the season? Tied with the Yankees right now, and they'll face off against each other this weekend. The Marlins beat the White Sox 10-0 yesterday. Sandy Alcantara with a complete game shutout, and Liam Hicks hit a home run. He leads the majors in runs batted in. Bounce back for Paul Skenes of the Pittsburgh Pirates. 5 innings pitched, just 1 run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Pirates beat the Reds 8-3. O'Neal Cruz also hit another home run, but Skenes obviously much happier with this outcome than he did on opening day.
Paul, Jake Mangum told us in the clubhouse today, when O'Neal Cruz goes, we go as a team. When you're standing there watching that 3-run homer before you go out, is that getting you even more amped to get out there?
Yeah, it makes it real easy to pitch. And when he hits another one, like he did yesterday, right? Makes it even easier. So it's been fun to watch.
Can you be pleased with the product you were able to put out there today?
Yeah, definitely, work in progress still, but yeah, nice to give some volume and be out there for more than 2/3 of an inning.
All right, so Skenes is back on track. The Cleveland Guardians showed the Dodgers what they're all about this week. They win 4-1 last night thanks to Gavin Williams. He won the game, 7 innings pitched and 10 strikeouts. Jose Ramirez also hit his first home run of the season. The Astros beat the struggling Red Sox. What's going on with them at the beginning of the season? Houston wins 6-4. Correa with a 3-run home run there. The Mets lose to the Cardinals and lose their series. They lost in 11 innings, 2-1. And the Cardinals were home dogs. They end up picking up the win there. And St. Louis 4-2. Very impressive to the start of their season.